Yeah, I know it's been a while. It's been a while. I wanted to drop videos, man. I wanted to drop videos, but I've been so busy with school and I couldn't drop videos. But I'm gonna try to step my game up because I know I've been slacking a little. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna try to step my game up. So what I'm saying, just power me with your recommendations. I'm saying send them all to me. Send them all to me on Instagram, preferably in the comments. You can do that. I can catch it every now and then. But yeah, preferably on Instagram, and we will probably be able to run those up. But yeah, I just came back from the gym. Oh my god, I haven't been to the gym in a while. So I'm feeling tense, bro. I am feeling weak in a proper way. Like, you know what I mean? You know when you just work out and you just kill the muscle. Just kill it, and it's like, oh, I'm weak, man. But this is so good. Like, you know what I mean? That's how I feel. I worked out my chest and my triceps, and I did a nice little bit of cardio, trying to get ready, pumped up for the summer. What is it, March now? It's almost April. And I'm saying, well, what is it? 1-2 months away from the summer, and we're live. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, anyways, you got some heat for y'all today. We're gonna be checking out Sergio Perez meme recap. But we're gonna be starting off with why Mercedes F1 car has a big problem with no quick fix. Meaning that the likelihood of them finishing first or second in the constructors champion thing is not very high to my Mercedes fans out there. So my predictions are not looking good. McLaren looking like scrubs. Mercedes, if this video is correct, are not looking to contend for a champion. No, I'm not looking to challenge for a championship this year. So, first of all, I would like to apologize to all my Ferrari and Red Bull fans. Because I know I came out and said that it's going to be me against you. It's looking like it's not going to be me against you. Because my predictions are not looking too good right now. They're not looking too good. Hopefully, Mercedes can turn this around, and I can come in here and flex my muscles against these bad Ferrari and Red Bull fans. But to start off the video by THERACE, link in the description for check out some video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I know I said it too fast, but you know what I'm saying, we do this at a high level. But let's go, starting now.
Mercedes sneaked a podium in Formula One's season opener, but when it comes to pure performance, the team's in its worst shape since the hybrid engine era began in 2014.
Yep.
The world champion team started the 2022 season with a humbling defeat to Ferrari and was set for a distant 5th and 6th on the road before Red Bull's late implosion.
Yep.
Pace-wise, Mercedes was nowhere near victory contention in Bahrain, and it's not expecting its fortunes to change immediately. Mercedes' history of playing down its testing performance led many to be sceptical it was really in trouble at the start of F1's new era. But it is.
Damn.
Lewis Hamilton and George Russell finished 3rd and 4th in Bahrain as Mercedes turned its worst season opening qualifying performance in 11 years into a podium finish and decent points. But that was in large part down to a disastrous late double DNF for bitter 2021 rival Red Bull. It's not as if Mercedes found a compromise that made it much more competitive in race stream versus qualifying. So while Mercedes boss Toto Wolff said the Bahrain result was the team punching above our weight class, Mercedes is fully aware of the magnitude of the task ahead. The reason why is that Mercedes has been badly hit with porpoising, an old phenomenon that the new ground effect era cars have brought back to Formula One. When these cars approach maximum speed and load, they are sucked close to the ground. If the floor gets too close for the airflow, the underfloor aero breaks down and downforce is lost. This releases the car so the ride height increases again and allows the cycle to rapidly repeat. That leads to the effect of the car bouncing up and down. Running low to the ground is key to maximising performance from the floor and diffuser with this generation of car, but Mercedes cannot do that as effectively as other teams without suffering from extreme porpoising. Hamilton described the W13 as a car that's bouncing a lot everywhere and has a very poor rear end through all the slow and medium speed corners. He believes Mercedes is only good in high speed corners but slow on straights, and at the same time sliding a lot on the rear, tyres getting hotter, which causes degradation. Teammate George Russell, who finished 4th, reckons the upshot is Mercedes' time loss at the moment is split evenly between the straights and the corners. It's around 3 or 4 tenths off on 1 lap speed, but much further in race trim. Hamilton qualified almost 7 tenths off the pace in Bahrain, but Mercedes reckons if it had hooked it up, that deficit would have been a bit smaller. However, it could be anywhere up to a second off the pace in race trim. So there's a broad range of problems for Mercedes to contend with at the moment, but at the heart of it is the bouncing issue, which is the root of all the team's evils. Russell said it's affecting the tyres quite a lot because every braking zone you are bouncing into the corner and the rears are just skipping under braking because the car is so unsettled. We know if we unlock the performance, it's going to benefit everything. It will help the tyres, it's going to help the brakes, we're going to find more grip from it. So we really hope we can find a solution as soon as possible because we just know that will answer a lot of our issues. The problem for Russell and Mercedes is that, at least for now, that's a lot easier said than done.
That is not good.
Mercedes is clearly behind its rivals in understanding the porpoising problem. That might be because the arrival of its Bahrain test upgrade package left the team reacting to the first test where it first encountered the issue, maybe in not the same way it should have. That's not because Mercedes expected the upgraded W13 to have no issues, but because the car was going to change significantly enough that Mercedes conducted a limited amount of analysis into how to address the problem. Otherwise, it might have devoted time and money to solutions that would be useless with the revised package, an undesirable option in the budget cap era. In reality, the new parts brought more downforce to the car and, if anything, exaggerated the issue. Mercedes has trialled a few experiments to alleviate the problem, including running different floors on both cars on Friday in Bahrain. Mercedes also did an experiment in testing where it cut the bottom part of the innermost vane in front of the Venturis. But while it was a useful experiment, it didn't lead to any improvement, so the car was back to normal for the race weekend. It appears likely this is a matter of weeks at least for Mercedes to get on top of the issue, rather than expecting a sudden transformation for the next race in Saudi Arabia.
Damn.
Wolff characterised the Bahrain Grand Prix as a test, as it bids to understand exactly where the gaps lie to the top 2 teams. His summary was that it's pretty much in every area, and now we just have to regain land centimetre by centimetre. According to Wolff, at the moment that will not come in the form of upgrades. One of the challenges is that porpoising can't be replicated in a wind tunnel or on the simulator, but Mercedes is now in a process of trying to reverse engineer the problem to see if it can model it, presumably using CFD, and find a solution that way. A minor silver lining is that the calendar does not get too dense until later in the year, so that gives Mercedes a little more breathing room.
Yep.
But that will change the longer the performance of the W13 remains theoretical instead of being realised on track. Then the clock will tick faster and Mercedes will start to run out of races to save its season. For now, it remains optimistic this is not a permanent problem, and it's drawing some encouragement from the fact other teams have addressed porpoising and remained competitive. Russell said there is a solution somewhere, but we are struggling to find that. We're going about our business analytically, not doing anything too crazy because you don't want to confuse yourself. We all believe we can solve the issue, but we truly just don't know, and we don't know how long it's going to take. It might be next weekend, or it might not be until after the summer break.
Summer break? That's
One
too far
factor that
away.
has been instantly flagged in the wake of the season opener is the performance of the Mercedes engine. While Mercedes was having its own troubles up front, no car from McLaren, Williams and Aston Martin made it past Q2 in qualifying, and they occupied the last 6 places in the Grand Prix. It was a miserable evening for those 3 Mercedes customers, and it didn't go unnoticed by fans, pundits or even those within the teams themselves. A quick look at the speed traps from qualifying makes for concerning reading, with only Williams remotely competitive on the straights, and that could simply be a consequence of a car producing less downforce and drag. But at this stage, nobody at the customer teams is publicly pointing the finger at Mercedes' high-performance powertrains and suggesting its 2022 engine is behind the curve. It's clear that Ferrari has taken a big step with its own engine, and if nothing else, the advantage Mercedes had previously does look like it's gone.
Yep.
Mercedes has made a huge effort with its new power unit, not only to meet the demands the new E10 fuel has on the combustion engine, but to package the power unit aggressively to save space. While it is possible that has backfired and left Mercedes short compared to its rivals, this is something that will not become clear for at least a few more races. For now, there are two reasons to think the collective underperformance of the Mercedes customers and the Mercedes works team being off the ultimate pace is a coincidence. The first is that McLaren, Aston Martin and Williams all have car limitations. We will likely cover these in more detail in their own videos, but it was clear in Bahrain they are battling their own problems. And without an engine advantage over the likes of Haas and Alfa Romeo, like in the past, that's only going to be more ruthlessly exposed in F1's midfield. Each of the customer teams were also quick to point out they had a significant deficit to their engine supplier. As you can see here, McLaren was the only one to get within a second of Mercedes, but Williams and Aston Martin were a long way away. So there may well be limitations to the Mercedes power unit, because it was notable that both McLarens and at least one Aston Martin had more urgent cooling requirements to do in the race. But this is too limited a data set to be sure, especially as the race was running hot conditions and these cars were running at the back of the pack, so weren't getting clean air into their intakes. The other important factor is what actually caused the straight line speed deficit of the Mercedes works cars. Wolff hinted that Mercedes has simply not been able to produce enough parts to have different aerodynamic options, and the result was a big rear wing that was producing too much drag. He did stress we need to really leave no stone unturned on the power unit side to be certain, but Russell shared his view that the straight line speed losses were unlikely to be purely down to the engine. Russell said, "This bouncing force we are experiencing down the straight is going to slow you down because we are smashing into the ground rather than going forwards." So like everything that afflicted Mercedes in Bahrain, it all seems to come back to the porpoising, and it supports the feeling that this is really the root of all the team's evils.
Oh no. So like I thought, Mercedes is in trouble. Like I thought, Mercedes is in trouble. And so is everyone that owns their engine right now. Coincidence, maybe? But, you know what I mean? Mercedes is in trouble. Now, with that being said, if somehow Hamilton, and to a lesser degree Russell, if somehow these boys pull it off, if somehow Hamilton wins the title, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see how he would. But if somehow he does, oh good God. Oh good Lord. I'm not gonna jinx anything right now, but if somehow he does, you will know that God is good. I will let you know that God is good. Let me put it that way. If somehow they pull it off, there's a lot of bad things going on right now with that car. But if somehow we can just stabilize something and just give somebody a fast enough car, I will let you know that God is good. What the hell? Now, do I think that's gonna happen? No. We can just, it's only been one race, so we can still believe. We can still believe. Up until like half the season, we can believe. I can pull out all the stops and believe. Like, you know what I mean? Hopefully it does happen. Hopefully it does happen. It's not looking like it's gonna happen, but hopefully it does happen. If it happens, you best believe that we are coming in with that energy, boy. But if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.